Hey, welcome back to another video. My name is Katie Steckly, and on my channel I love to talk all about travel and filmmaking. In today's video, I'm sharing my guide to Stockholm for budget travelers. Earlier this fall, I traveled to Sweden as well as a couple other countries, and anytime that I'm traveling, I like to look out for the most inexpensive and budget-friendly attractions and places to eat and stay in the cities that I'm visiting. So without further ado, here's the budget-friendly travel guide to Stockholm, Sweden. When you're traveling to a new place, the first thing you need to do is find somewhere where you can spend the night. In an expensive city like Stockholm, your best option is going to be staying in a hostel. When I stayed in Stockholm, I stayed overnight at the Generator Hostel. It's very centrally located and super close to Gamla Stan, which is the old town of Stockholm and where you're going to be doing a lot of your exploring. For a 3-night stay, I paid about $100 Canadian, which is quite reasonable, and any hotel in Stockholm is going to be way more expensive than that, and even the centrally located Airbnbs were pricier than that. The other benefit of staying at a hostel, especially if you're traveling solo, is getting to meet other people. Don't bother buying breakfast there, it's way too expensive. There's a 7-Eleven right across the street! Of course, you're also going to need to eat while you're traveling, which can get very expensive, especially in Stockholm. So I have 2 suggestions for you if you're trying to keep it super on the cheap while you're visiting the city, and that is 7-Eleven and Burger King. I know, so culturally enriched, but trust me, these are the cheapest places to go, and 7-Eleven is actually quite an experience if you're used to the 7-Elevens in North America, because in Sweden, they are classy AF compared to what you're used to. You can get fresh baked croissants, all kinds of baked goods, falafel wraps, pizza, so many different kinds of sausages. There's lots of stuff that you can get at 7-Eleven for a good meal, and we kind of made a routine out of eating our breakfast at 7-Eleven because there's one right across from the Generator Hostel. Burger King was a great option for us when we were trying to keep it cheap because they actually have veggie burgers and a number of other vegetarian options there that they don't have at the North American Burger Kings. Of course, I definitely suggest trying out a few local restaurants to get a sense of the cuisine while you're there, but of course you can't do that for every meal, and so when your wallet is hurting, head to 7-Eleven. All right, it's time to explore the city. There are actually a surprising number of cheap or free attractions in Stockholm. The first thing I would recommend is checking out a free walking tour. We found out about the one that we were going on because it was advertised at the hostel, but there's a ton of options. If you just search free walking tour Stockholm, you'll find a number of options. Now, nothing like this is truly free, so I definitely recommend setting aside a little bit of money to tip your tour guide, but it's still going to be a lot less expensive than any other kind of guided tour that isn't walking. And the best thing is, I think this is the most natural and localized way to see the city rather than doing something tacky like segways. Even though segways would be really fun. Yeah, I admit that. But walking is cheaper. After your walking tour, head over to the Stockholm Public Library. This attraction is truly free and it is super worth seeing. The library is known for its large rotunda, which houses books in a circular room, which is super cool. This is a great place to go hang out and warm up, especially if you're visiting Stockholm in the off season like we did. It's free to hang out there, and it's a great spot for Instagram pics. There's also a number of cool lookout spots throughout Stockholm. You can head outside of Gamla Stan and look at it from above at night, which we did, or there's a public park right next to the public library where you can walk up the hill and see a beautiful view of the rooftops of Stockholm. This is a great thing to do to get a sense of the city, get some beautiful pictures, and it's totally free. Now that you've done a ton of free stuff and you're ready to spend a little bit of money, head over to the Royal Palace, because if you're a student, you can get pretty reasonable admission. It's about half the regular price, and there's a ton to see here. There's a lot of museums that you might be considering when you're visiting Stockholm, but if you only have the budget to pick one, I would recommend checking out the Royal Palace because you can spend a lot of time there and there's so many different cool things to see. Plus, it'll give you a really great sense of the overall culture and history of Sweden, which some of the other museums are a little more specialized and you won't learn as much. This is also really cool because it's just the actual royal palace, so it's really old buildings and your girl loves history, so go to the old buildings. Finally, check out the Gustav Vasa Church. It's a beautiful old building and you can walk right in during the day. And if you're lucky like us, you might stumble upon a free organ concert over the lunch hour. I think they do this most weekdays. And so not only will you get to appreciate the beautiful architecture of the church, but you can also hear what the organ sounds like. I love old churches, and this is just one of the options that you can check out, but it's super beautiful and it's free. So that's it for my budget-friendly Stockholm travel guide. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, make sure to share this video with your budget travel buddies, and let me know if you're heading to Stockholm soon in the comments below. Of course, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Like I said, I love to talk about travel and filmmaking. If you want to see more of my Stockholm travel content, then check out this video right here. As always, I love you all. I hope you're following your dreams, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.